it makes me think about, now there's a study in the US, they interviewed 52,000 people, and 95% of the heterosexual men, they experience an orgasm every time they have sexual intercourse. Then 86% of lesbians, they experience also the same. But only 65% of heterosexual women, they experience an orgasm. And that's what you're saying. There's a gap.
Orgasm gap, exactly.
There's an orgasm there. And what you're saying is there's a lack of knowledge about themselves, but also lack of communication, right?
Exactly.
In the relationship. Actually, there's an experience. There's a friend of a friend that has a cousin. No, just joking. It's my experience. People normally like to say that, but I can share. I think for me, it's always. I feel like women's bodies are different, and I think every woman experience orgasms in different ways.
Everyone's body is different,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Like even men.
Yeah, but so for me, it's always about, as a man, trying to understand how a woman is more likely to have an orgasm and to give that, because women's bodies are different. So for me, that's what has worked about communication,
Absolutely.
open communication, and knowing how does it work on the other side.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Ultimately, you and your partner are the only experts on the pleasure you share together, right? You can't expect that the same thing is going to work for every single person.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think it's so valuable for people to communicate, and communicate with abandon, like not have any fear of I'm going to be judged if I say I like this, or and no expectation either.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people really struggle with. It's like, what are they going to think if I tell them this is what turns me on?
Yeah.
Or like, now they've told me this, so I have to do it. It shouldn't be either of these things, right? Like, why can't we just talk?
Yeah, yeah, and I like that's the work that you are doing. Just also telling to people that it's okay to have desires and it's okay to explore, right? But the most important is the communication between in the relationship. But you're talking about self pleasure. Like, what is the impact, let's say, for a woman's health to practice self-pleasure?
So, orgasms are really good for health. Like, doctors will say that. I'm not making this up.
Okay.
In general, sexual activity, positive and pleasurable sexual activity has many health benefits. Improved mood, improved sleep, better circulation, like exercise. Or, I think of masturbation as such a wonderful tool because you don't need anyone else, right? So it's the safest form of experiencing sexual activity, minus the risks of any kind of infection or pregnancy or even rejection. It's also something that you can use almost like a self-soothing behavior, right? It's like it's something you have that you can regulate your own desires with. Maybe, I think so often I think, and no judgment here at all, but I think that often we might seek out somebody from a place of loneliness and horniness. Like, it's Saturday night, let's get on the apps, which is fine, absolutely fine. I'm not judging this at all, but I think if you're seeking a partner, often you're seeking from a place of greater clarity if it's not coming from needing to scratch an itch. Do you know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
Like, I think that when you're lonely or like craving some sort of sexual contact, often your judgment is clouded a little bit, where you will put up with, or I think it results in different things for men and women, but often men will sort of use women, right? This is a cliche, I guess. Sex can, especially this is, I think, in an environment where you're young and still figuring things out and you have more time and stuff like this. Maybe you go on a date on Saturday night because you're bored and lonely and horny. You don't actually care about this person. And so it's almost like you're using a person. And men will often do this. Women report often feeling like a vessel into which a man masturbated. Does that make sense?
Okay.
If you're going, and this is, I mean, the sort of dating culture that a technology driven app sort of, how different is it to find a match on a dating app than it is to buy socks on Amazon? It's not that different, right? We are literally commodifying each other, which I'm not judging, each to their own, casual sex is okay, but I think many people often find it not so fulfilling.